This is my last year, and soon we'll have somebody else in charge. We'll start with the prayer and the pledge. So if you go ahead and rise, we'll get that we'll get that moving along, and then we'll get started with the program. Jan will lead us in prayer.
Heavenly Father, we just come before you tonight to ask your blessing upon everyone in this room, Lord, that you would bless our words, bless our ears to hear, and our hearts to be open to what you want us to receive tonight, Lord. Lord, we ask that you would make it clear to us the path you choose us to take for our country, and we thank you for the ability to be at this gathering tonight. Lord, forgive us when we fall short of your glory, but to you, Lord, all the glory and all the praise. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Anthony,
Paul Becker is going to lead us in the pledge. Go ahead.
attention to colors, I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In just a moment before you sit down, could we take just a moment of silence for State Auditor Tom Schweik that we lost this month? Thank you. Go ahead and be seated. Okay, welcome to Cape County Tea Party monthly meeting and candidate forum this month. Again, my name is Brian Bowman. I'm the chair of Cape County Tea Party. We've got about 8 or 9 Tea Party leadership members here tonight, and I believe we have some candidates in the house, but I don't know any of the candidates. I apologize for that. I haven't had a chance to meet any of you, so I'm basically going to have to take roll. So if we can real quick go through and see who we do have here. Do we have anybody from the city of Jackson running for mayor or alderman? You're Mr.
Dwayne Haas.
Dwayne Haas. And I'm going to apologize that I spelled your name wrong in the article, H-A-H-S, right?
That's right.
Well, it was wrong somewhere. So somewhere I saw it H-A-I-H-S, and I apologize for that. Advanced School Board.
Oh, wait, Brian.
Oh.
Alderman Jackson.
You Mr. Head? Okay. Anybody else? All right. Advanced School Board. Delta School Board. Delta Alderman. Dutchtown. Jackson School Board, we got Brad. Anybody else? Nell Holcomb. Allenville. Gordonville.
Right here,
And you are?
Michael Costa, running for fire board.
And is Judy here? You're Judy? Okay. How about Roger? Any Roger? Anybody want to be Roger? Whitewater, not contested. Cape Girardeau School Board.
Anthony Q.
Anthony Q. Anybody else? Kyle or Lynn? No? Oak Ridge. No Heights, believe it or not, is in our, got some folks in our county. East County. And that's it. Anybody else here?
Jackson Alderman here.
Oh, okay. And-
Wanda Young.
All right. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's better than we thought we were going to have. Well, thanks for coming. We appreciate you coming out to talk to your constituents and your voters. The format of the candidate forum will be pretty straightforward. Just 5 minutes to speak. The gentleman over here will be running down the cards, saying how long you got left. And we'll just kind of go in the order. I happen to have it in this sheet, and you guys can give your best stump speech in 5 minutes, and then we'll move on from there. Tonight includes the candidate forum. We have a couple people going to speak on the ballot issues, namely the use tax and the Cape Girardeau School Board bond issue. And then if we have some time left, we'll talk a little bit about some of the other things that are on the ballot. There's a lot of votes on the ballot this time talking about ending an election if there's no candidates, if it's uncontested. And I thought we maybe just have a little discussion about that if we have time. But before we get up to all that, I just got a few things to go through. I have a few things for sale or for free in the back desk there. I know we have some state constitutions. We probably have some U.S. Constitution. If you don't have it, you should have it. Those are some kind of important words put together in sentences that create a social contract that tell us how we're all gonna live together. So if you want, there's some free state constitutions back there. We're in the process of studying and getting to know it better. We've got some things for sale. We've got some beautiful full-size Gadsden flags. I have noun disease. I can get the whole sentence, but when it comes down to the noun, I can never think of it. Anyway, these are $10 each, and they look good on your house, or where mine's in my garage right now. We have a 50-50 drawing going. If you haven't got into that, $1 each, or $5 for 6 tickets. If you want some tickets for that, please raise your hand. If you're not on our email list, please, and you'd like to be on our email list, we have a sign-up sheet back there. Just go ahead and pass it down the aisle. If you're already on our email list, you don't need to sign up. We're not taking roll. But if you'd like to join our email list, basically we send out 1 email a day if I get around to it. Definitely let you know of all of our events coming up. We have our monthly meeting. We have our weekly meeting as far as organizational things are going. We have Keep the Republic meetings, where we're working on missions to try to control institute of government. We have events like pancake breakfast. We take part in gun shows and things like that that we'll keep you up to date on as well. And typically 3 or 4 or 5 articles on current events that are related to Tea Party kind of ideas. What else we got? Our website is capecountyteaparty.org. It's very easy to remember. I'm going to bring up a different little picture here on the screen, and we'll show you something else we got going on here. You'll notice that this says Centurion 12-gun safe by Liberty Safe, currently unavailable. That's because we bought the last one. And we are raffling that safe off. $5 per ticket, and 5 tickets for $20.
And it's absolutely awesome. I know, because we bought one when it was on sale too. It's in my bedroom behind the door, and it's got my AR-15 in it.
That's what she wanted
guns,
for her
whatever
birthday
they are.
last year.
But it is really cool.
Yeah, it's a really nice looking safe. 250 pounds, so you got to be able to carry it around, or I think it might be even 270. I read it right.
Let's see here. It weighs 270 pounds. It's 61 by 22 by 20. It is a Liberty Safe Centurion 12-gun safe, 14-gauge 3-piece body, and it will withstand 20 minutes fire at 1200 degrees Fahrenheit. And I have tickets back here if you're, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, Barbie's got the tickets back there standing in the middle of the table, or you can raise your hand. I'm sure she'll bring you one.
Did she say when they're gonna raffle it, or?
We are going to hopefully have the tickets sold by the May monthly meeting. So what's that, May 16th?
Which will be the 19th of May.
May 19th. So we hope to have it ready to sell on May 19th. I'm sure we'll have all of the tickets sold by then, so we can
Oh,
count
I'm
on
sure
that.
we will too.
That happening.
Going well.
Oh, we had a good weekend at the gun show. Lots of people bought tickets there. We are a grassroots organization. As much as you hear about the Koch brothers funding the Tea Party, I've never got a check from the Koch brothers. If anybody else here has got a check from the Koch brothers and wants to raise their hand, I'd appreciate you sending some of that money my way. But I keep hearing how the Tea Party is paid and owned by the Koch brothers, but I sure haven't got that check. So we are a totally grassroots organization, trying to get some things done locally and nationally. If you got a couple of bucks you can spare, if you don't mind, we're going to pass a teapot and ask you to throw a couple of bucks in. Kind of like going to church. All right, about the Tea Party. Tea Party got started on February 27th in 2009, kind of as a result of a rant of Santelli, what's his first name? Rick Santelli on not MSNBC, on CNBC, talking about paying for other people's mortgages. And that's kind of what really riled things up for me. It was the year before when they were going to give us those, under George Bush, they were going to give us those tax refunds, the stimulus. Remember that? They sent us all $600 checks. Did you get your $600 check or whatever it was?
I don't think so.
So in the fall, they sent us a $600 check. Before that, they sent us a letter to tell us that they were going to send us a check. Do you remember how much?
I got the letter.
Do you know how much? Do you have a letter? Do you know how much it cost the federal government to send us that letter? $42 million. $42 million. That's 70,000 more people they could have given that $600 check to.
Right, there are some taxes on that too.
Do what?
Those taxes on.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, that's what really got my blood boiling, way back under George Bush. And the Tea Party became an outlet for all of us who are just as angry with the Republicans as we are with the Democrats. I'm just as angry with the Republicans as Democrats. Both of them are making bigger government. Is there any government that you see that's not getting bigger? Can you tell me one, please? No, they're all getting bigger. Every last form of government we know is getting bigger. So, most Tea Partiers have the goal of trying to limit the size or reduce the size of government. And we hope you as candidates will consider that as you go forward with your career as an elected official. Okay? Typically we have our monthly meeting, mostly we have speakers come in, or we do legislative reviews where we actually go through the legislation that's been proposed, or we've even started sitting down and writing our own legislation. We're trying to become proactive in the Tea Party instead of reactive. If all we ever do is react when the government decides they're going to do something, we're going to lose the Republic. We're going to lose the Republic. We're trying to keep the Republic. That's all we're trying to do, is keep the Republic. If we become a democracy, that'll swing over to anarchy and then back to tyranny. Okay? So we're fighting to keep it in the balanced center and keep it as a republic. We have our weekly meeting on Thursday. It's either an actual organizational meeting for the Cape County Tea Party, or it's a mission meeting for the Keep the Republic activity. Missions are basically issues, all right? If we're fighting an issue or we're pushing an issue or a candidate, we're working to on that mission to get that done, all right? But what happens here at the monthly meeting and what happens at those weekly meetings is the least important of what goes on and what we do. The real time for us to work with our elected officials is between the meetings, all right? If all we do is get them elected and walk away for 2 years, what happens? $18 trillion worth of debt, right? That's what we've been doing for the past 228 years now, 1787 to now, 2015. We've elected every 2 years, we walk away, and what happens? More debt, bigger government, more debt, bigger government, more debt, bigger government. More government means less
Freedom.
freedom. More government means less freedom. If they take more of your wallet, that's less of your freedom, less of your liberty, less of your life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness that you have.
Less in your pocketbook.
Less in your pocketbook, exactly. So, we've embarked on a training process with a place called, with some folks called the Center for Self-Governance to teach us how to keep the Republic, all right? Back in 1787, when Benjamin Franklin came out of that 100 days in the sweaty summer in Philadelphia, having written the Constitution, a Mrs. Powell came up to him and said, "What have you given us?" And he said, famously, "A republic if you can keep it." You've heard that before, right? Well, think about who he said that to. And Dr. Franklin knew what he was talking about. He said that to Mrs. Powell. What is it about Mrs. Powell in 1787? She's a woman in 1787. What couldn't she do? She couldn't vote. What else couldn't she do? She couldn't own property, and she couldn't. She couldn't run for office. So how is a woman in 1787, under Dr. Franklin's instruction, supposed to keep the Republic if she can't vote? Because isn't voting how we keep the Republic? No. She couldn't run for office and she couldn't own property. How is she supposed to do that? All right. Well, the training we're talking about with the Center of Self-Governance teaches us how to do that between the elections and between the meetings. If all we do is show up at the school board meeting, it's just going to continue to grow the size of that piece of government. All those little pieces of government continue to grow. We are learning how to get involved between the meetings and take control of instituted government. We have 2 people pushing a bill in Jefferson City right now. We have another group of people pushing a candidate as an effort just to keep the Republic. All right? So what happens between the meetings is most important. Centerforselfgovernance.com. And we have flyers for that back there, I believe, don't we, Jan?
Yes,
All right.
absolutely.
If anybody would like a flyer on that, please raise your hand. It's an intense training system. It's 8 hours of training for level 1, 8 hours of training for level 2, 3, 4, and 5 each. You will come out of there a seasoned, well-trained, and well-educated citizen lobbyist, ready to take on any level of government that you decide to take on. Okay. All right, I talked a little bit about why we were here. Do you know what the debt is today?
Too much. It's
You always seem to know.
18-3. 183 as the first three numbers.
Not quite, according to the site I looked at, debt to the penny, it's 18-1. 18-152.
Well, you did somewhere in between there then.
Yeah, well, we're probably hiding some debt this week. All right. Remember what the debt was on January 20th, 2001? That was when Bush was inaugurated. The debt was 5.7 trillion. On 9/11, it was still 5.7 trillion. On January 20th, 2009, Bush had run it up to 10.6. On January 20th, 2013, it was 16 trillion. And here we are standing at $18 trillion. If we don't stand up and get loud about that and start controlling that government, this country is in big, big trouble.
Well, it's already in pretty big trouble.
Yeah.
We're already there.
So I ask you to take one of these flyers, consider getting involved in controlling instituted government. We've been doing the same thing over and over and over and over again for the past 25 years. If we don't do something different, it's just going to continue to get worse. And this is different. This is very different. And it's working. Yes?
I just wanted to say that I started the Center for Self-Governance classes, and I've taken through level 4. At my age, I'm probably not going to be doing a whole lot, but I'm hoping that I'm impressing my children and grandchildren. That's why I'm doing it. Becoming a lobbyist for my grandchildren. And it's a wonderful program. I have learned so very much. The fact that I will sit there 8 hours in the class for the whole day, and I've done that 4 times. But these people are the workers. I haven't been doing the work. I might.
You're doing your part.
You're doing your part.
Okay, I
Thank
guess
you.
I'm going to say again.
Well, real quick before you go, Barb, how many people in this room have taken these classes? Okay. And nobody's making any money off this or getting rich off this. It's not about a money-making deal. I teach level 1, and I don't make anything to do it. And I've gone from from Virginia Beach, Virginia, to Colorado, Denver, and what's south of Denver, Colorado Springs, teaching these classes for free. And everywhere we go, people are taking control of the government. And you know who Eric Cantor is?
Yes.
Eric Cantor, the high-level Republican elitist establishment House member, U.S. House member. He was defeated in a primary. And he's a big government rhino. He was defeated in a primary by students of the Center for Self-Governance. It's that powerful when we put it to work. So, thank you very much. And Barb.
Well, one of the last things my 19-year-old grandson did before he went to Fort Jackson, South Carolina, to be in the Army for 4 years, he took level 1 of the self-governance class and was extremely impressed. And when he comes home, he's going to take the other 4 classes.
Okay, I'm just making sure what else I want to talk about. Okay, just a couple of other things before we get into the guts of our meeting tonight. Typically, after we go to our meeting tonight, we go to Beef O'Brady's and enjoy some fellowship. I just want to invite you to come out and possibly have an adult beverage. You might find a green beer there tonight. I don't know why. They say if the leprechaun sees a shadow today, there's 6 more weeks of drinking.
6 more weeks of what?
Drinking.
Green beer.
I thought I made that up, and I did. Somebody else did that one. Let's see. gun safe raffle, we already talked about that, going to Beef O'Brady's. We have, do we have enough of these around, you guys, the mini brochures?
Yes.
Right here?
If you can, there's some mini brochures that we
I
take.
have more too.
Stick it in your car. If you're a supporter of Tea Party, if you see somebody in the parking lot with a Gadsden flag or the spending's too high or one of those, a sticker that kind of gives you an idea that might be thinking our ways, stick one of these cards under their windshield wiper and let them know we're out here. We're trying to grow this thing to get more people involved because it works what we're doing. Even though the press is bad, it's working. We don't care what the press is. Okay, who went this month to a meeting of an elected body? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we don't get involved and start controlling our elected bodies, if we just vote for them and go home, government will keep getting bigger and freedom will continue to wane. So I've got a nice long list of all the elected officials, some of the elected officials, not all the school boards, but some of the elected bodies, their meeting dates and times on this that I'd like to pass out to you. So if you take one of these and pass it down, put it on your fridge, try to go next month and go and get out of your shell and go see what they do at one of these meetings. If you're running for office, you might be going to one of these meetings pretty soon. I would assume you've already been to one. But yeah, they'll put that on your fridge and go to one of the meetings, see what's going on, start asking questions. Boy, they get looks on their faces when you start asking questions at these meetings, don't they?
Yep.
Like, how about putting the checkbook online? Okay, what else we got here? Center for Self-Governance. That's it, all right. So, let's get rolling with the candidate forum. Like I said, we'll have 5 minutes per person. And we'll just go down the list as they were here, that I haven't. And the first person I have on the list here is the candidate for alderman in Jackson, and that would be David Hitt. So just come on up, make yourself at home, I'll get out of your way. We've got the camera on here, so don't say anything you don't want on the internet. I may have done that, I don't know. And I will announce your name and your office. I'll announce your name and your office, and then I'll step out of the way and you can start. I'll give you 5 minutes, all right? Good enough? Okay, candidate for alderman in the city of Jackson, David Hitt.
Thank you. I'm not sure why I got to go first, but when I was invited to come, I had no idea that I was going to be standing in front of anybody talking. I thought I was just going to listen. As an alderman, this is my second time on being an alderman in Jackson. I served from 1993 to 2001, and I was out of town for about 5 years, and I moved back to Jackson and ran for re-election. I've served 8 years. This will be my 5th term. In Jackson, you run for a 2-year term. I think a lot of places it's a 4-year term, but in Jackson it's only a 2-year term. And I think one of the nice things about that is if a person is not doing a good job, then every 2 years you got an opportunity to vote them out. And if you're an alderman and you realize once you get in there that, hey, this is not for me, and it's not for everybody. How many of you in here that's had an elected or been elected position? One, a couple of you? Okay. You know as well as I do then, you two anyway, that really you don't know what you're getting into until you've gotten into it, and you've been there a while, and generally you sit there and you keep your mouth shut and you listen because you don't know what's going on. And after a while you kind of get the hang of things like that, and then you know whether or not you made a wise decision or not. But in Jackson, things are going good. Jackson is like a lot of communities. I've read in the paper today where Scott City is going to have to address water issues. Jackson's going to have to address water issues. We've got other issues that there's going to be cost involved. You don't get anything free. Nothing is free nowadays. And to pay for it, you're going to have somebody that's going to have to step up and have to have tax of some sort. I know that that's a bad word here, but if you want electricity when you flip that switch, or if you want water when you turn the knob, somebody's got to pay for it. And the only way to do that is through either taxes or the revenue that's generated from the water, or from the sale of electricity and things of that nature. So, what else do I say? I'm unopposed, so I think I have a pretty good chance of being elected. I think I'm campaigning against the write-in vote, I guess is what I'm doing here tonight. But,
Well, I'll tell you what, he does a good job because I go there every,
you wasn't there the other night, Joe?
well, you know, I was, what was I doing?
Well, you
You're
know,
right, I was at some other kind of meeting, but I can't tell you what it was right now, I can't
we
think.
kind of, you
Did you
come
miss
often
me?
enough that we expect you to be there,
Well, I'm glad you missed
and
it.
when you're not there, we don't.
I was getting ready for this thing.
Okay, all right. And, you know, we try to be open about everything we do. We're not trying to hoodwink anybody, you know, when we say to the electorate, or to the community that, you know, we need to increase your utilities, whether it's gas or, no, we don't do gas, but electricity or water or sewer, it's because somebody has caused us to have to do modifications. EPA is just killing us on things of that nature. We have had to spend, roughly, probably $2 or $3 million, and you know, that's just beat EPA standards. That doesn't give you any better water, more water. And the city of Jackson is some of the issues we've got is our water supply. It's not the supply, but it's the avenue of getting the water from the well to your homes. You know, the old pipes are 2-inch pipes, and now we've got, you know, when we had 2-inch pipes put in there, we probably had 3,000 or 4,000 people. Now we're over 14,000 people, and a 2-inch water pipe, you can't get enough water to keep those homes furnished. And we got fire protection issues. So that's the reason why we're looking at a water issue. But all in all, you know, Jackson is doing well. And I'm proud to say that, you know, I live in Jackson, and I grew up in Jackson, and I have 30 seconds to I'm done.
That's good, thank you. Yeah, we just assume most elected officials can go on for 20 or 30 minutes, but we understand that we weren't expecting to talk tonight, so I'm sorry I didn't have an email address to send everybody a list of what's going on tonight, but we'll make it through, and if you don't feel like talking, we understand. Just come out and talk to your constituents, and that's fine too. But, should she so choose, next on the list is Wanda. Yeah, we expect you to go full 5 minutes if he can go 4:30. Come on. All right, ladies.
We are not going to need 5 minutes. We're going to get to the point and where we're at.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, candidate for City of Jackson Alderman.
I'm Wanda Young, and this will be my 3rd term. I have learned a lot in Jackson. Like David said, at first you start out and you're trying to figure out what's going on that first little bit. You listen, you find out a lot of things, how it works. Jackson is a conservative community. We try to get the biggest bang for our buck that we can. We search out different things to try to do the best for the citizens. A lot of times when I have to make a decision, and I'm very conservative myself. I look and I think, okay, what do I want for my daughter? What kind of community would I want her to come and raise kids in? I think she has a responsibility to be an asset to our society. She should not expect our society to give her anything. I think we should help people well that can't help themselves. And I don't know how we decide that all the time. I think we have to do it on a base-by-base decision. I'll go to the water. I'm sort of skipping around. I, too, like David, thought I was coming to listen since I was unopposed. And the water issue, we would love not to have to put a ballot out to pay for anything, but we do work at a very close margin. So there's not a lot of money that's sitting around anywhere thinking, okay, what can we they've got money and it's not being used. That's not the case. We are looking at a water issue because we have to keep our fire ratings up so it's safe for each of you in case you would have a fire. We're not going out to do some fantastic, huge thing. It will just be what we need to the best that we can to give you the biggest bang for your buck. So as Jackson, we put out a bond issue. I know I sat beside David, and I see Barbara at most all of our meetings, that we try to do the best we can to think about that. I believe with your rights, you have to have things that, I'm sort of jumping around, I'm not prepared, I'll be honest. You have rights and you have to step up and be an asset to the community, however you choose that to be. Each one of us has something different that we contribute to it. And I think the Tea Party is good at sort of holding our feet to the fire, shall we say, making us think about, are we doing the best we can for our citizens? And that's what I think we all want to do. I've been pleasantly surprised by the aldermen that are at Jackson now, because we may not always agree. We have worked out a lot of discussion as far as how are you, what can we do best for the citizens? And I think each one of you can say that you don't agree on everything, but you want the same basic thing. And that's what we want for you. So I'll be glad to answer questions later if you have more questions.
Thank you very much. Yes, we'd encourage you all to stick around later and talk to everybody and answer questions after we're done with the meeting. We'll have some time to clean up and put away chairs, so there'll be plenty of time to take care of that then. Okay, next on the list is Mr. Haas. So we have candidate for Jackson Mayor, Wayne Haas.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank the Tea Party for giving me the opportunity to be here tonight, Barb for giving me a call and alerting me to this. What I'd like to do is just spend a few minutes telling you a little about my background, why I want to run for mayor, and what I think I could do when I became mayor of Jackson. First, as far as a background, I was raised in Jackson. Went to Jackson schools, and then went to Southeast Missouri University, where I got my BS degree in business in 1974. After that, soon after, I married Susan Thompson here with me tonight, and off we went to a business career. And that took us away from Jackson for a few years. I worked for a company called Bausch & Lomb, and went to work for them in 1977. And after a few years in their U.S. business, I had the opportunity to move international and become involved in their international business. So Susan and I, our two children, had the opportunity to live in Canada. We lived in England for a number of years, and I finished up my career in Hong Kong for the last 2 years. So it was a rewarding career with Bausch & Lomb. They certainly taught me a lot about leadership and about running businesses around the world. But in 2008, we had the opportunity to retire. It was a perfect time, and we really were able to fulfill our dream, which was to move back to Jackson, where we were from. My mom and dad